I just want to say, first of all, thanks everyone for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. You know, at this exact week, approximately 3 years ago, we were holding a series of public information meetings about the municipal building. And it was in 2016 that we started that process. And since that time, we have held more than 20 public meetings about the potential for a new city hall. And as I was thinking about that, when we were starting this, there was lots of folks that were doubting that we would ever get this done, that it would ever happen in our community. And I kept on saying to them, trust the process. Trust the process. We need to do a process and make sure that the citizens and the policymakers and everyone understands what the needs are for the community, and let's go through that process. And I'm really, really proud to say that that process worked and that we're moving forward today on the new City Hall. Um, you know, when we think about this, moving forward on a project like this is really when city government is working at its best. And before I turn it over to the next speakers, I just want to take a moment to thank a few people that have been a major part of this process. The first person, and I just want to mention her specifically, who happens to be on vacation today, so we're going to make sure that we send her the video, is Katie Jelasic, who is in our city engineering department and our project manager for our buildings. And she started with the city as a co-op student and has been with the city for more than 30 years now, if I'm counting right, and has been a part of City Hall discussions for more than 12. And she's going to be our project manager on this project. And I know with her at the helm that we're going to see a great project with great communication and ultimately a great building being built. So we're really, really proud of Katie and her work. I want to thank the Common Council, both the ones that are on the council today and the ones that were here that took some very tough votes. So, building a new city hall is always a difficult decision. It's a major move. It costs a lot of money, and it's a tough vote. And as we continue to make strides and invest in our critical infrastructure, the city council recognized that we needed to invest in the signature building for the city and really invest in our employees and create a workplace of the future. And so I just want to thank every city council member who made the tough vote to move and participated in a thorough discussion to move this project forward. And even though we had disagreements at times, and that that everybody participated, they made sure their voice was heard, and at the end of the day, we see this project moving forward. I also want to make sure that I thank the City Hall employee core team, which included Gina Kozlik, Chris Profile, Fred Abadi, Katie Jelasic, Rebecca Peterson, Maria Panzani, Jennifer Andrews, and Rich Abbott. Those folks from the internal staff really helped guide this through and help us make tough decisions and come about to really good compromises for what this building represents. And also the aldermen on the core team, which has changed over the time, but with Cassie Rodriguez, Eric Helgestad, our former council member, Bill Boyle, our former council member, and Jack Wells, they really helped guide the discussion, bring forward the concerns of the council, and make sure that as we looked at this building that we were doing something that was reflective of what the taxpayers and our residents wanted to see. And last but not least, I just want to thank the city employees who really make the city go and who are going to be in charge of some challenging customer service for the next year as we have this ground torn up and some interesting challenges to provide services to our residents. And for those who have been waiting for this for a long time and have stuck with the city and stayed here and are going to be a part of this grand opening in a little over a year. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tom Hamley from BWBR, who is our architect on that project and was a great partner in getting us through this process. So Tom?
Thank you, Kevin. I want to first thank Mayor Riley, the Common Council, City Administration, for making us part of this team. This has been an honor for us to be involved in this magnificent project. Any day we get to celebrate a groundbreaking on a civic project, this is always a good day, and that's not just saying that as an architect who likes to see the projects come to life. It's really, there's a lot more to that. We often talk about design in terms of performance, how designs can improve workflows, making the buildings more efficient for the work efforts, how designs can improve the health and wellness of your community and the people who work in them, and how new designs can use much less energy and are more cost effective than older, outdated facilities. While this is all certainly true for your new City Hall, there's really something more with this project. And that's about community pride and how this investment feeds into the pride of your community. For the council, the mayor, the administration, and most of the Waukesha residents, this is a once-in-a-lifetime project. It's a project that reflects what is valued in this community, where you call home. This is why designers like us find these projects very inviting, sometimes challenging, but ultimately very rewarding, because we know that facilities like this continue to perform well beyond our time. It's not easy getting to a day like this, but to the council, city, staff, mayor, you've done all the hard work, and that's what gives us reason to celebrate today. Congratulations on this milestone. This is a project that will be impacting lives from today for many decades to come. We thank you very much for making our team part of your team.
And next up, I want to invite the president of our construction company, Kip Ritchie, up to the podium. And I just want to say thank you for being a part of the team and coming in with a little bit on the project.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. It is congratulations to the City of Waukesha on your new City Hall. We, on behalf of Greenfire, I can tell you we're extremely excited to be a part of this project. Looking forward to the continuous transformation of downtown Waukesha, and so we're just thrilled to be a part of it. I do want to take a moment to talk a little bit about the project and also introduce some of the team members from Greenfire that will be working on it. Mr. Daniel Grames is a project manager. Dan, if you want to acknowledge yourself back there, will be working on the project, as well as Gene Wadinsky will be our superintendent on this project also. So I want to introduce you to them. A little bit about the project. Phase one in this it's approximately $20 million project. New construction is approximately 60,000 square feet, three-story building, which you've seen here. Beautifully designed, by the way. It's a structural steel frame, and I was reminded by our superintendent that the steel will be delivered and installed in the dead of winter. Reminder not to lick the steel, because that could be very difficult for you. So we're all about safety. There'll be a glass curtain wall, a part of it, stone masonry enclosure, office and conference space, plus council chambers included as well. There'll be a skywalk across to East North Street, connecting to the existing garage. Phase two, that first phase will be turned over in December of next year, December of 2020. Phase two will be demolition of the existing City Hall. Parking lot and landscaping work will also continue throughout that. So again, on behalf of Greenfire, your construction management firm, we are absolutely thrilled and honored to be a part of this project. So congratulations to the City of Waukesha. Thank you.
And last but not least, I would like to introduce the esteemed Mayor Sean Riley to say the last few words before breaking the ground.
Thank you, Kevin. I don't think I've ever heard you call me that before. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. In preparation for this is the dedication brochure from 1967 for this building here. I've gone through it, and I got some notes regarding it. First of all, it leads off with City Hall, the center of city government. It further goes on to say that this City Hall, meaning the one behind me, reflects an attitude of civic mindedness and creates an image of confidence. I really enjoyed reviewing this brochure and found that it contains some universal truths about the function that governmental buildings hold in a community. First of all, I think the statement City Hall is the center of city government is absolutely true. In every community, in every city, the City Hall is where things happen in regards to city government. I, however, believe it is also possible we may not agree with everything written within this brochure under today's perceptions. For example, this brochure states, our new City Hall, meaning the one behind me, not the one that we're going to be building, is a practical, functional building designed to handle the diversified needs of each department. It is a building with thought and dimension. I hope we don't describe our next building as a building with dimension. So one of the most, it goes on, another statement is, one of the most impressive areas of the new City Hall is the council chambers. The front platform and presiding bench are elevated 8 inches for better visibility. An 8-foot by 4-foot pivoting blackboard and display area allow for impressive presentations of material by members of the council, the mayor, city officials, and special speakers. So it was talking about our present common council chambers and how nice it was because we have an 8-foot by 4-foot pivoting blackboard. Additionally, the brochure indicates that the dominant supporting ground level colonnades and contrasting brick stone facade give the building an impressive, sturdy character. I think that is true. It does have a sturdy character. The building is distinctive because of the narrow slit windows, which provide light and view without loss of valuable wall space. These windows eliminate problems of sun control, prevent heat loss or gain, and the heavy cost of curtain wall construction. So we now know why we have the narrow windows for valuable wall space. Also in here it says the basement level, or it's also called the Civil Defense Emergency Operating Center, was programmed by civil defense authorities for a staff of 128 people. 128 people were expected to live in that basement in case of nuclear war. It further goes on to state the area involved was designed for protection against radioactive fallout and was equipped for isolated emergency operations for a period of 14 days. I believe we may agree on some statements within this document. For example, on page 7, it states, and in quotes, undoubtedly the most important official under the mayor-council plan is the mayor himself. So, I also want to say that almost every single picture in here is of a man. And it never refers to a woman throughout the entire document. So there are some great changes that have occurred in the last 53 years. I also learned some interesting facts. For example, the City Hall that was prior to this one was first used as a Waukesha Municipal Hospital and constructed in 1914 and became City Hall in 1930. It served as our City Hall until 1967. The City Hall behind us, and it has 1 year of service left, will also operate for a total of 53 years. So that's interesting. Both the old and the present City Hall serve the community for the same amount of time, 53 years. Also interesting is that our present City Hall was constructed just north of the prior City Hall. What that means to me is the new City Hall will go where the old one was before that. So basically, there's going to be a switch 3 times from one spot to another spot and back to the same spot. The building behind me was what Waukesha needed at that time. Over the decades, however, we interact with each other and how the world is perceived did not remain constant. The building that met the needs of the community and served a purpose in 1967 and in the years thereafter no longer meet those needs or serve the community in 2020. The impressive, sturdy character of the building is not considered so impressive today. The narrow slit windows are not looked upon as an asset to be championed. Radioactive fallout shelters are no longer perceived as necessary or even really a solution. We do not look upon our Common Council chambers as beautiful and functional, and we do not consider an 8-foot by 4-foot rotating blackboard as a cutting-edge presentation material. Times change, needs change, a community grows, and technologies evolve. The Common Council, staff, and the administration all evaluate how best to meet the needs of our community and how best to serve its citizens. After years of study and discussion, we are moving on to a new chapter in Waukesha's history. We are building a new center of city government. This building will reflect today's attitude of civic mindedness and will help foster confidence in our government and in our community. I thank all of those who have spent countless hours working on getting us to this point, the point at which we symbolically turn dirt and start the process whereby we build a new city hall which will serve our community for generations.